Hello and welcome to this episode of Dread Captures, the ultimate destination for those who seek the thrill of witnessing the unexplained. Our channel is dedicated to bringing you the most compelling and jaw-dropping camera footage we can find. Trail cameras, security cameras, and other recording devices can capture events that occur when no one is around. We have gathered trail camera footage of wild animals, cryptids, paranormal activity, mysterious creatures lurking in the shadows, and strange phenomena that defy explanation. We have it all. Our team of experts scours the internet and beyond to bring you the latest and greatest in the world of wildlife and the unknown. So whether you're a seasoned cryptozoologist, a veteran outdoorsman, or just a curious viewer, buckle up and get ready for an adventure like no other. Now, let's get into the captures. While walking in the forest, a group of friends saw something unusual that many believe is the popular creature called Bigfoot. In a video from 2008, the friends were having a good time when they suddenly saw a strange, tall figure standing among the trees. They tried to get a closer look with their camera, but the figure disappeared quickly. They were left wondering if they had really seen Bigfoot, or if it was just a joke. The unclear video made many viewers curious about what was really out there in the forest. Hey Dread Captures team, long-time watcher, first-time submitter. I've got something you guys might find interesting. My name's Anthony, and I've lived in Northwest Vermont all my life, spending countless hours in the woods and always having trail cameras set up. I thought I'd seen it all until this latest capture. I sent over a still image that, at first glance, might look like a typical gray wolf. Except it isn't. This thing is massive. We're talking well over 200 out. The stance, the intensity in its eyes. It's hard to tell if it's chasing something or if it's just annoyed at the camera flash. Here's where things get really eerie. For weeks now, the woods around my home have been silent. No birdsong, no chattering squirrels, nothing. The deer that used to frequent our yard vanished. My youngest daughter now refuses to play outside, whispering about the big shadow she's seen lurking about. Back to the photo. As massive as this creature is, the truly unsettling feature lies in its claws. They're off. Too long, almost misshapen. They don't look like anything I've ever seen on a predator around these parts. A buddy and I have been discussing the image, and he thinks that this behemoth is why the wildlife seems to have disappeared. Makes sense, considering the sheer size of this thing. It could easily scare off or consume most animals. But those claws? They hint at something else. Maybe something ancient? Supernatural? Would love to hear your thoughts, and whether anyone else has reported similar finding. If you feature this on your channel, please blur out the specific location. I've got a family to think about, and the last thing I want is to attract unwanted visitors. Be they creature enthusiasts or, heaven forbid, the creature itself. Stay safe and keep up the great work. Anthony from Vermont. P.S. If you need more footage or want to visit the location, drop me an email. Just come prepared. The woods here aren't what they used to be. This is a pretty crazy picture. Personally, it is a massive wolf for sure. But Anthony is right. Something is up with the claws. I just don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. By now, I'm sure you all have seen this, but if you haven't, well, you're in for a treat. Mexico's Congress had a hearing on UFOs and the potential of extraterrestrial life, but no one was expecting this to kick it off. Jamie Masson, who describes himself as a UFO enthusiast, made a grand entrance with two peculiar caskets. And inside, he claims they are stuffed bodies of aliens. The bodies have some familiar alien features, large heads, elongated fingers. They were supposedly discovered in Peru in 2017 and are believed to be over 1,000 years old. Now, before you jump on the extraterrestrial bandwagon, there's a twist. Maussan has previously made some, let's say, questionable claims that turned out to be less than true. These aren't aliens. They are Peruvian mummies and their bodies were altered after death, says an expert from the University of Chicago. So, the big question now is, will Maussan allow an independent examination of these bodies? One member is quoted as saying, "The audacity to bring those into the congressional chamber. It's all a bit out of this world." Let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe, or is it just another tall tale? A Reddit user posted a mysterious photo taken by their hunting trail camera. This black and white snapshot, taken on July 31st, 2020, showcases the perimeter of their backyard fading into a more densely wooded area. What makes this photo particularly intriguing is the unexpected appearance of an entity resembling the upper body of a young woman. She seems to be donning a hat and dress, adding an extra layer of eeriness to the image. The person who shared the photo had just moved into a newly developed community, which was previously an old farm located north of Minneapolis. Upon first seeing the peculiar image, their initial thought was that their neighbor's 6-year-old kid might have decided to pull a playful prank on them. This idea seemed plausible at first, but what deepened the mystery were 2 subsequent pictures taken by the same camera. Neither of these shots showed the child, or for that matter, any other person nearby. This intriguing discovery sent waves of curiosity throughout the Reddit community. Many users felt a feeling of fear, speculating that this peculiar figure might be a ghost. But as the discussions grew, a crucial point was raised. The photo was captured on the very night of Halloween, making some users skeptical. They wondered if this might just be a well-timed trick, dismissing the image as possibly staged or a hoax. However, the original poster responded, stating they hadn't even made the connection between the date and Halloween at the time the image was captured. So, could it have been a mere coincidence? Or is there something more to this mysterious figure? As of now, without any solid evidence to tip the balance either way, the truth behind the image remains veiled in uncertainty. While some are convinced of a supernatural presence, others remain skeptical, believing there's a rational explanation. In this TikTok video that's been making the rounds, we see something that's both sweet and lighthearted. 2 young girls are in their yard at night, holding a flashlight as if they're on some sort of backyard adventure. They heard some mysterious noises and are curiously trying to figure out what's making them. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Unbeknownst to them, a sheep quietly appears and stands right behind them. It seems the sheep is just as curious about them as they are about the noises in their yard. Then one of the girls turns around and, surprise, she spots the sheep standing right behind them. Startled but also amazed, she bolts back toward the house, and her sister quickly follows. But just before they run inside, one of the girls takes a moment to give the sheep a gentle pat on the head. The sheep seems to enjoy the interaction and then wanders off, looking pretty pleased with itself. It's a simple, wholesome moment caught on camera, and it's been bringing smiles to faces all around the internet. This video, originally uploaded by a TikTok user, has been generating quite a buzz online and has left viewers feeling a bit uneasy. It features a strange occurrence that was captured by a home security camera at the user's cousin's house. The camera, positioned to monitor the alleyway next to the house, caught something unusual that has stirred up a lot of speculation and intrigue. In the video, a mysterious white form can be seen drifting past the camera. It's not clear what this shape could be, and it's definitely out of the ordinary. The uploader of the video openly wonders if it could simply be some smoke, or if it might be something more unexplainable, like a real ghost caught on camera. It's normal to think that the idea of a ghost being caught on camera may sound a bit far-fetched. We all know that there are many explanations for such phenomena that don't necessarily involve the supernatural. Sometimes, it's just a trick of the light or an optical illusion. Other times, it could be a result of a camera malfunction or a glitch in the recording. But let's not dismiss the idea of ghosts too quickly. It's not uncommon for people to claim to have seen or experienced ghostly phenomena. Some believe that these spirits are the souls of deceased people who are stuck between this world and the next. Others think that they could be residual energies left behind from traumatic events. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the fact remains that there is something about the unknown that captivates us and keeps us searching for answers. It's worth noting that the TikTok video doesn't provide a lot of context about the mysterious white form. We don't know if there were any unusual events or occurrences at the house that might have contributed to the sighting, so it's tough to say for certain what this shape could be. Lainey recently shared a clip on Facebook showcasing her chicken in the backyard on a drizzly morning. At first glance, the video might seem rather ordinary, a simple moment captured on a damp day. However, if you pay close attention to the horizon, you'll notice something peculiar, an unidentified object swiftly moving across the frame. Given the rain and the gloom, it's easy to miss this detail. But if you take a moment to slow down the video playback, it becomes clear. An aircraft zips by at an astonishing speed. What makes this sighting even more intriguing is Lainey's mention that the nearest airport is a good 30 kilometers away. Considering the distance, it's quite remarkable that such a compact aircraft could move at that pace. This begs the question, did we just witness a potential UFO sighting? Or could it simply be a conventional airplane? The mystery remains, but the video is surely worth a second look. This is a crazy video taken down in Florida. The green iguana was introduced to the state of Florida back in the 60s. Like all invasive species, they enter their new ecosystem with an instantaneous leg up on all other life in that area. You see, every ecosystem has a trophic level, something we humans came up with to explain the massive exchange of resources between species. Primarily, their feeding relationships. The trophic level of an organism is determined by what it eats. Everything is fine until one of these invaders comes along and either fills the role of a native animal, which can lead to the rapid decline in the native species, or the new animal can actually create its own new trophic level, which just throws everything even further out of whack. Both of these scenarios are no good. But when you add to the mix the fact that this new species does not have any natural predators to keep them in check, they will just keep multiplying, making the situation exponentially worse with each generation. So yeah, this bystander should have let nature play out. The video in question was uploaded to Instagram by a paranormal investigator named Greg Ludwig. He captured this intriguing footage late one night in his own backyard. According to Greg and his family, who live in the house, no one was in the backyard at the time the video was recorded. That makes what happens next even more puzzling.
Right here. You can see a shadow up here. Boom.
And no one's there.
In the video, a shadow suddenly appears near a lawn chair. What's really odd is that this shadow looks like it's being cast by a person standing next to the chair. But here's the kicker, there's absolutely no one there. It's as if the shadow just materialized out of nowhere. But that's not all. Alongside the mysterious shadow, a flashing light or orb also makes an appearance. It seems to hover near the shadow and stays there for a short while before disappearing. Now, for those who might not know, an orb is often described as a transparent ball of light energy, and many believe it's connected to spiritual entities. These orbs can show up in both photos and videos, and I've received messages from folks who say they've seen these balls of light on their own home security cameras. So the big questions remain. Where do you think these puzzling phenomena come from? And what, if anything, are they trying to tell us? Tammy Jackson is yet another homeowner who's had an unusual experience captured by her home security system. She has a Ring camera positioned in her backyard, and if you're not familiar with how these cameras work, they only start recording when they detect some kind of movement. So, something specific has to set it off. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Her camera picked up a figure that's pretty hard to describe. It was semi-translucent and shaped like a rectangle. Even more bizarre, it seemed to move in a really strange way, as if it were walking, but without any feet that you could see. It's not the sort of thing you'd expect to see strolling through your backyard, that's for sure. After this strange figure vanished from the frame, a motion-sensitive light in the area suddenly switched on. This leaves us with a couple of burning questions. What exactly triggered the camera to start recording in the first place? And what on earth was that odd entity that appeared on camera? Now, this is a crazy occurrence. A recent post on Reddit has caused quite a stir, leaving many in its community both intrigued and worried. It all started when a user took to the platform to share a strange incident involving their spouse, who happens to be a manager at a local restaurant. A few days earlier, during one of her shifts, the wife stumbled upon an unusual discovery, a trail camera hidden and pointed directly at the back of her restaurant. To make matters more suspicious, the camera was securely strapped to a tree located just behind the establishment. What's even more alarming was the fact that neither she nor the higher-ups at the restaurant had any inkling about this camera's existence. To provide a clearer picture of the situation, the Reddit user shared a photo of the peculiar trail camera, which only intensified the speculation and concern amongst the Reddit community. But the story took an even stranger turn. Sometime later, a man walked into the restaurant, identifying himself as a representative from Wildlife Services. He approached one of the waitresses inquiring about the discovered camera. Offering an explanation, he mentioned that he had been given permission by the management to set up the trail camera, which he valued at over $500 as part of an effort to find a lost dog. But here's where things get even murkier. Without waiting to speak to the restaurant's manager or clarifying further, he left in haste and was never seen again. Amidst the flurry of comments and reactions on the post, one particular suggestion stood out. A fellow Redditor advised that the restaurant should remove the trail camera's battery. As a countermeasure, they should set up their own surveillance to monitor whoever comes back to either retrieve or replace the camera's battery. On top of this, they also proposed an ingenious idea. If the individual tried connecting to the restaurant's Wi-Fi, the staff could potentially identify them by cross-referencing the device with the restaurant's Wi-Fi connection logs. The entire episode leaves a lot of questions unanswered. What was the real purpose of the camera? Who exactly was this so-called representative from Wildlife Services? These uncertainties have heightened concerns over the safety and well-being of the restaurant and everyone associated with it.